Today I come to you with an amazing theory on why Thanos lost in Avengers Endgame. Now I know at this point you might be a little bit tired of me uploading Endgame content despite the movie coming out almost 2 years ago. But I guarantee you by the time you're done with this video, you're gonna have your mind blown. So without any further ado, let's begin. So after watching Endgame for the zillionth time, I finally figured the real and insane reason why Thanos lost in this movie. It's not because of Tony sacrificing himself. It's not because of Carol Danvers showing up at the end. It's also not because the Avengers were stronger than ever before. But it's because this Thanos changed his vision. Now let me explain what I mean by that. Thanos no longer wants to eliminate half the universe. He no longer wants to save the universe that way. He no longer wants to be the savior that he believes the universe so desperately needs. Think about this for a moment. Out of 14 million outcomes, Thanos wins every single time except for one. And when is the only time he loses? When he sees the universe is ungrateful and changes his own mission. It's not the merciful Thanos we see in Endgame. It's the warmongering, slaughtering machine that we thought we were going to get.
And as long as there are those that remember what was, there will always be those that are unable to accept what can be.
Exactly in this moment, this younger Thanos differs himself from the merciful Thanos that we got to see in Infinity War. So instead of this one, we got this Thanos in Endgame, one who was ready to snap and call it a mercy, against the one in Endgame that is full of rage and vengeance. This is the Thanos we deserved, and this is the Thanos we needed.
How many did we win? One.
When Doctor Strange was talking about the only timeline they win, he wasn't only talking about the one where Tony sacrifices himself, or the one where Danvers shows up in the nick of time, or even the one when they go back and do a time heist, but he meant the only timeline where Thanos himself changes his will. Now I know you're still not convinced, so let me go a bit deeper. Thanos thought by eliminating half the universe, the other half will be grateful, and his younger self also acknowledges that when he comes to know he wins.
I am inevitable.
But then he sees his head getting chopped off. He sees how mad people are, how sad they are. He sees the Avengers. All he wanted was the universe to be happy. But now he thinks he fails because nobody is. He thinks he failed because everyone else thought his creed was wrong. Was it wrong in a moral sense? Yes, absolutely, without a shadow of doubt. So had this Thanos stuck to his plan and just carried out his prophecy, he would have won. But the moment he steps aside from his original goal of becoming the savior to taking revenge, he loses.
But I'll tell you now what I'm about to do to your stubborn, annoying little planet. I'm gonna enjoy it very, very much.
This scene says so much about this Thanos. Up until then, he'd never felt threatened. He had been killing people, commanding armies, fighting, but he never had anyone even come close to killing him. But this time, against those three, he finally had skin in the game. And when the chips were down, Thanos became a totally different person. He was no longer the cold and rational being trying to make the universe better, whatever that vision might be. No, he was angry and vengeful, and he was going to enjoy killing the people who hurt him. And this is the exact reason Thanos lost in Endgame. Now I'm not downplaying Tony's sacrifice. I'm not saying Tony's sacrifice was wasted. What I'm saying is I'm not ready to believe a character like Tony Stark would only sacrifice himself once out of those 14 million possibilities. He was ready to die in Avengers 1. He was also ready to die in Avengers 2. And he almost died in Avengers 3. So do you really think Tony sacrificed himself only once out of those 14 million realities? No, I'm pretty sure he did it more than once. But the reason the Avengers only win this time around is because only this time Thanos himself changes his vision, which led to his ultimate demise. Now full disclosure, this theory belongs to Jack Adakoven, so shoutouts to him for coming up with an amazing theory. Now me personally speaking, I do have my own theories that go directly against this one. So if you lads want to know what I think is the reason Thanos lost, then let me know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to make a video on that. Now if you like this theory, then please give me a thumbs up and grab the subscribe button